When you enter every typical home, there are places in the home. Do you know the fancy names for these places? I thought it would be very educative to let you know the names of the places that we have in our homes, the fancy names. That is what is coming up in this video. The lesson comes up right after this.
Hi, I'm God Eva Eliana Esse. I'm a student of God First Schools Complex. Subscribe to APPODELL'S Multimedia for more educational content. Bye.
So I'm going to start with the immediate outside area in our homes. For the purposes of this video lesson, I'm going to have two immediate areas outside our homes. First will be the general compound, and secondly will be the back of the house. How do we call the immediate outside area of the home? We call this area pardo. Pardo. This is literally translated in English as outside. Now, let's look at the back of your house. Here in Ghana, typically, people use the back of their house to grow some vegetations like plantain, cocoyam, cassava, tomatoes, pepper, and so many things that help feed the family. So that area in Fante, we call this area, we call the infichu. Infichu. This word literally is a combination of two words, mfichu, and the two words are fie echu. So fie nechu, mfichu. So literally it means at the back of the house, at the back of the house, the corridor. We call this area abuano, abuano. This is also a compound word or a combination of two words, abo and ano, where abo is door and ano is mouth, literally. But to understand this, ano is end. For the purposes of this, end. So at the end of the door, abuano. Now we are in the corridor. We want to move further. But before we move further, we felt hungry. When you feel hungry, which area do you go in a household or in a home? Definitely, you will go to the kitchen. You go to the kitchen, yes. And the kitchen is called jadi. Jadi. Most fancy names are compounded or combination of words or different items, different things. Jadi literally is ja, fire, adze, which is under in fancy. Under. I know if you know fancy a bit, you might say, no, it's not under. Adze is a thing. That is what you would say. You are not wrong. In fancy, this word, adze, is referred to as under or a thing. For the purposes of this video, jadze is ja as in fire and adze is under. Okay? To help you understand the reason why we call jadze jadze, there is a town in the western region, the capital town of the western region of Ghana. It's called Takoradi. Look at the name, Takoradi. It has been anglicized and we now call it Takoradi. Takoradi. But the actual fancy name is Takoradi. Takoradi. It's also a combination of two words. Takora is the name of a tree. Takora tree. Takora. Takredua. Dua is tree. Takora is the tree. Is the tree's name. Sorry. Is the tree's name. Adze is under. So this town got its name by looking at the people who are living under the takra trees, right? You see, we say Takoradze, Takora Adze. They are living under the takra trees. There is also a town in the central region of Ghana called Abanze. Abanze. Aban is tower, right? Tower. I'm not talking about a government. Of course, Aban can be referred in English as government. But in this instance, I'm talking about Aban as a tower. Gone were those days when they built a tower in that town, and there were people living under the tower. So those people living under the tower, when you are referring to, you say the people living under the tower. So Abanadzefono, people living under the tower. That is how this town in the central region got its name, Abanze. It looks like we are deviating a bit from the topic, but I felt that it was very important to explain this word, adze in Fante. So in Fante, we most often regularly use adze to refer to as under when we are compounding two things or two words. So you get that. Now let's look at another area in a home, at our home, another area. We are done with the compound. We are done with the back of the house. We have entered the house in the corridor. We've diverted to the kitchen because we were hungry. Now let's, after eating the food, definitely we've gotten our food. When we get our food, we want to sit somewhere and enjoy the food, right? We go to the hall or the living room. Here in Ghana, some people call it a hall, right? But it's actually the living room. The living room. How do we call the living room in Fante? We call the living room asado. Asado. The bedroom is the next area we are going to talk about. We call the bedroom adenchir. Adenchir. This word is also a combination of two words or two items, right? Adan came from the word dan. Dan. Chir is at the back. The back. The actual building itself is the living room. And the bedroom is the back. It's at the back. So that is the literal meaning. So adenchir. Adenchir. Dan no ichir no. The building at the back. The building at the back. The house at the back. The room at the back. And all those things. So that is what literally that also means. So the bedroom is called adenchir. Now, we slept very well. We woke up the next morning. We need to brush our teeth. We need to take our bath. And we need to go to the toilet. This area where we take our bath, we call that part egraye. Egraye. But it means where we bath. Where it means bath or to take your bath. There is another area like we talk about is the toilet room. The toilet room is a jananbia. A jananbia. Three things combined. A jananbia. Now, let's try to break this and then explain them. Ja means to leave. To leave. To leave. Nan is our legs. Nan. Wanan. My leg. Manan. Your leg. Wanan. What comes out from in between our legs is an excrement, right? So when we go there, we leave the excrement, sorry to say the feces, there. So nan bia is a place. So literally, we would have leave leg place. Leave leg place. Let me bring it to proper English. It will be leg leaving place. But do you actually leave your legs there? We don't leave our legs there. Sometimes jokingly, some Ghanaian kids or Ghanaian people will say, oh, I'm going to leave my legs. It means they are going to toilet. Okay. So this name, Ejananbia, it's a combination of three words put together. Eja, not Eja as in father, but Ja, to leave. Leave leg place, the toilet. I believe I have exhausted the places in our household and their Fante names. If you believe there is still an area that is unmentioned in this lesson, let me know in the comment section. We are going to make a series of videos of some of the items that are found in these areas mentioned. For example, you take the living room, the items that are found in the living room and their Fante names. We are going to do that series of videos to help you know the Fante names for these items. This is where I end today's lesson video. I strongly believe you have been educated. Please, if so, and if this is your first time here on the channel, I would plead with you to subscribe to the channel and share the content. Let others know of this channel, APPODELL'S Multimedia. The program is MFANTE KASASUA. We learn the Fante language here and we get ourselves entertained too. Until we meet again, my name is Mr. Apia Mensah. See you once again here on the channel as we keep learning. Bye-bye.